Caught between the iron wall, the light shines through the door. The missing sound, the hero rise, deadly to the core. The king of chains will tear through you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 10 of the Game Nights audio podcast. As always, we are talking video games, and I am joined by the man with the plan, the beast from the east, in this corner weighing 165 pounds, it's K-Wing.
165? Man, I gained weight. Hey, what's up, gamers? It's K-Wing here, and we're here for our 10th show. So that's pretty special right there.
We are definitely glad to have made it for our 10th episode, and especially a big thanks to everyone who's been listening to every episode. I mean, you know, there's got to be at least a couple people out there that have listened to all 10, don't you think?
2 people? No. 10, 20.
Well, we're definitely, getting more and more people listening to us every week. As I said before, we are talking video games. I will have your video game news, and we're going to throw it over to K-Wing a little bit later on, and he has the new releases for the week. And then we are going to move on, talk about the games we are playing. We'll answer some mail and all that fun stuff today.
Fun.
Yes, and the first, actually, before we get started on the news, really excited because tomorrow, K-Wing and I are going to be doing an interview with a producer from Atlus about their game that's being released this week, Devil Summoner 2. So that we're actually going to...
Sweet.
Yes, we are going to be recording that tomorrow, and we will air that next week for you guys. K-Wing, did you get a chance to... Have you played Devil Summoner 1, the first one? I don't know if you're aware of that game or not.
Was it on Xbox or PS2?
It was on PS2, and actually, I was fortunate enough to be able to play the game when I worked as a game tester for Sony, testing out the third-party games. Mm-hmm. And I got to play. I tell you, I played a lot of really, really crappy games when I was a tester there. I had to play Ubisoft's Horses with a Z. I had to play Strawberry Shortcake. I tell you, I had to place a lot of really bad games, but Devil Summoner was actually a really good port. I thought that from Japan. That's basically Atlus. What they do is they bring over a lot of these Japanese, especially RPGs. That we never would have seen the light of day. There are a few of those companies out there that that's essentially just what they do is they bring over these Japanese titles that the big companies like EA and Activision and everything like that, they think that there's no market for it in the U.S. So we need these guys like Atlus to be bringing over these Japanese titles. Otherwise, we'd never see them.
What year was Devil Summoner? Was that 2004?
It was, I believe, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So it's a pretty decent game. I'll be talking a little bit more about it, in the interview and stuff. But it's a pretty cool game. The thing that I liked about Devil Summoner was not just the fact that it's in Japan, but kind of the not just the setting, but the time. I think it's the year is like 1920. In Japan, and you play like a detective that has to go, and he almost kind of has like Pokemon-ish kind of abilities, where you get the name Devil Summoner from, where he can like capture demons and then summon them later and use them and stuff. The game had its flaws, but it definitely kept me interested. And like I said, I think it was one of the better games that I had a chance to play when I was a game tester. So we will be airing that interview next week, where we will be talking about
next week.
We do the interview tomorrow, and we'll air it next week for you guys.
Yeah, better than delaying the show a week.
Yeah, we were thinking about that. We were thinking, well, maybe we should just delay the show a day or whatever, and we didn't really know kind of until the last minute that the time was going to be set in stone. So we're just going to go ahead and air it next week. I mean, it's not they're shipping it today, so the game's not even going to really hit the shelves until maybe Thursday or something anyway. So
That makes sense.
right. So and then some places get it even later than that. So some people might not see it on the shelf until next Monday or something anyway. So. All right, and
Good stuff.
one more quick plug before we get to the news. The Renegade Reviewers DVD is still on sale, guys. Go buy it at renegadereviewers.com. We're getting some great feedback already from people that have received it, and they're liking it a lot and saying that they think it's really funny and that they're going to show all their friends and all that good stuff. So we've been getting some really great feedback early on.
Yeah. Weren't we going to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah. We do. I think we did want to address one thing, which was that I think that we didn't come right out and say when the DVD came out that it was kind of more for a mature audience. I mean, K-Wing reviews, Bikini Zombie Slayers. I mean, K-Wing doesn't really review too many mature games. And
I did 6 this year.
Well, that's true. It's kind of, but what I'm saying is, even when you do review mature games, it's like you're trying to keep it for an audience, because we know that we have a lot of younger viewers out there. We know that we've got some even to early teens, and it's we don't want to try and take the power of being able to control what the kids play away from the parents, because K-Wing and I are both firm believers that parents should take a very active role in the games that their kids are playing.
Yep.
So, but basically, for the parents out there that felt like that we were, because there definitely is some I guess you could say adult language that's on the DVD. There's no digital boobies on there, but
no.
there is there's some rough language on there, and but we thought that the filter was pretty much enough, just that it was only available for purchase online, and you need a credit card. So. Essentially, if you're under 18 and you want to buy it, you have to get someone with a credit card to buy it for you, which would probably be your parents. And then, that's at what point, the parents can come in and say whether or not that they think it's appropriate for their kid or not. So we didn't come right out and say that, because I guess we kind of felt like we didn't need to. It's not like you can just go down to Walmart and buy the DVD. You gotta, special order it online, and you need a credit card.
That'd be so cool.
Right. So I mean, we pretty much thought that was a filter enough, and it is unrated. I mean, that also says something and all that good stuff. But it's so for you kids out there, I know that there were some of you that really wanted to buy it, and they said that your parents wouldn't, and we're really sorry that you can't get it. We would really like for you to have it, but if your parents say that it's not for you, then we can't really
listen to your parents.
Yeah, we can't really tell them otherwise. I'm sorry, guys. So,
yep.
All right, but I think that's enough with our announcements. So now we can finally go ahead and move on with the news this week. And I tell you, there is a lot of news happening this week.
With swag. Good to know.
All right, so the first piece of news I have is that the Game Developers Conference in Canada just started this week, today as a matter of fact. If any of you are in Canada in the Vancouver area, it's at the Vancouver Convention and Exhibition Centre. The event is a 2-day forum for Canadian developers to share best practices for fostering ingenuity and quality games, and featuring sessions with leaders of Canada's game development community. And it is definitely more for the game developers, but they always do have at the GDC, they always do have games that you guys can play too. I got a chance to play some really cool Nintendo stuff at GDC this year in San Francisco. So if any of you are up there, near Vancouver, and you're looking to get your hands on some games before they actually come out, go check out more info there for it. Then the website for that is gdc/canada.com.
Awesome.
And moving on, there is a new expansion coming out for the City of Heroes game. We'd like to support those guys at NCSoft.
Yep.
The name of their expansion is going to be called Going Rogue. And it's the first major expansion for the City of Heroes franchise since the launch of City of Villains in 2005. So this is the first expansion for City of Heroes in almost 4 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, if you don't count the Architect edition that was just released.
Yeah.
So for you City of Heroes guys, if you left the game, you're bored with it or whatever, going rogue, which is going to blur the line between heroes and villains, in the first and longest running super powered comic book MMO game. Now I don't know if you know about this, K-Wing, but there's actually a DC MMO in the works.
DC Universe Online, yep.
Yeah, and actually, for you guys out there that bought the DVD and saw the interview that I did with the lead designer for City of Heroes, I actually asked him a little bit, and I was like, so there's another MMO out there that's going to be like comic book based. I mean, I don't need to say the name. I'm pretty sure you're aware of it. But are you afraid that they're going to be, ripping stuff, off from you and stuff? And I'm sure that's, he kind of sloughed it off.